Hello, welcome to my presentation for the final project of the Computer Science 110 class. The instructor is Mr. Clark Wellman, and my name is Mingning Nguyen. So first of all, I want to talk about the description of what I'm doing here. So I use Python and the Turtle module to draw the pattern below, which is right here. And I use this pattern to make a 4x4 square, and in the square the patterns are alternatively changed in colors. So firstly, I import the Turtle module and create two functions. The first one is makeScreen, which is when it is called a screen is created, and the second function, createTurtle, which is for creating a turtle. My third function is move. It has one parameter t, stands for turtle, the turtle. So here, this function is for moving the turtle to an appropriate position, so that the drawing will be visible. And here I call these three functions. And here's the result. The screen is created. The turtle has moved from the center of the screen to this point. For my first function of drawing the pattern, I want to move from the smallest part to the greater. So the function SideShape1 is for making the turtle draws a side of this pattern, and this pattern has the first shape. So in addition, I also consider this diagonal side to a variable of my code, and here's my code. So here is the length of the diagonal side, and even though this function has three parameters, which are t, color, and size, this function is not for filling the shape with the color, but the next function is responsible for that. So I don't make the turtle to fill the color, and here I call the function, and here's the result. It moved from this point to this point following this path. And here is the next function, the idea for the next function, sec1. So I want the turtle to move on the outside of this pattern. So here's my code. While the for loop statement is being executed, I also makes the turtle draws. I also makes the turtle fill the shape with the given color, and here I also move the turtle to an appropriate position for the next shape, which is the shape 2. And when that function is called, when the previous function is called, this is the result, and here's the position of the turtle. For the next function, SideShape2, which is similar to the function SideShape1, I want the turtle to draw a side of this pattern. I like the right path. I draw like right here. And here's the code for the function. It also has three parameters: t, color, and size. So it's pretty similar to the function SideShape1. Here's the variable for the diagonal side, and here I move here's the path, and here I call this function. So the result is here, move from this point to this point, following this path. So for the next function, shape2, I want the turtle to go around this pattern. So I use the follow statement to loop this SideShape2 function for 4 times, and also I fill the shape with the given color. And here I move the turtle to the ready position for drawing the shape 1. So here I call the function, and here's the result. And here is the position of the turtle for the function basic line. I want to draw a line that has 3 patterns, and the shape of the patterns are alternatively changed, like this one. So this one shape is similar to this one, but not this one. So before I create the function, I make a variable state num, set its value to 0. So this variable is for keeping track of what the turtle draws and direct what it will draw next. So I use for loop and loop it for 3 times. And if the variable state num is divisible by 2, the turtle will draw the shape 1 and set the value of the variable state num to be increased by 1. And next, the turtle will draw the shape 2 and reset the value of the state num. And here I move the turtle to the next line of the pattern A. When this function is called, this is the result, and here is the turtle. There are 3 small patterns in the line. So in a pattern A like this, there are 3 lines. So I just simply use the for loop statement to move it for to loop it for 3 times to loop this function. So which stands for 3 lines. And here I move the turtle to the position that is ready to draw the next pattern. And when this function is called, this is the result. 3 patterns in line and 3 lines in a big pattern. And here is and here is the position of the turtle, but it is still missing the background color. So here I make the function background color that fill in a square shaped area with a color here. And when this function is called, this is the result. A square shaped area is filled with a single color. So for the next function basic pattern, it has 4 parameter, t, color 1, color 2, and size. And in this function, I call the function background color first with the parameter color 1, and the function shape patterns later with the parameter color 2. So because I want the drawing of the function shape pattern to overlap the drawing of the function background's color, So when this function is called, this is the result, and here is the position of the turtle. So similarly, I want to make a line of that pattern. So I use for loop to loop for 2 times, and for each time, this function will draw the turtle will draw 2 patterns. But here I also call the variable statement because I want it to be reset after the turtle have drawn a pattern, so that the next pattern can be drawn again. Here I move the turtle to the next line of the big pattern, the final pattern. So when this function is called, this is the result. There are 4 patterns in a line, and the colors is alternatively switched, and this is the position of the turtle. So my final function is the function final project. It has 4 parameter, which is similar to the previous one. This function is for drawing a 4 times 4 square made by the basic patterns A with alternative colors. So in this function I use for loop to loop for 2 times, and for each time the turtle will draw a couple 2 lines with different color, or more precisely alternative colors. So before I call this final function, I also use the tracer method in the turtle class, so that the turtle will draw faster, like almost immediately. And here's the result when I call the final function. There are 4 lines, and for each line there are 4 patterns, and for each pattern there are 3 small lines, and for each small line there are 3 small patterns, and all of them are alternatively changed in colors and shapes. So before I close my PowerPoint to perform my code, I want to talk about the citation. The picture of the pattern I took is taken from the course website from the project section. So I'm going to perform my code. And here's the result. Thank you for listening and watching. Have a nice day.